Okay, you're not going to hear my funky music without headphones. It's just me. It's always just me. No one hears the music. It's in my head, really. There we go. How's it going, Mr. Rubel? Hopefully we are recording. How are you doing?
Not too bad. All good, Edward. Nice to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to catch up away from work.
Away from work, exactly. I was going to say.
Actually get to hang out and have a cup of chai. I'm turning that off. There we go.
Little studio you got set up here yourself.
You like it?
Yes, absolutely amazing, mate.
It's the bare minimum. Like, I've always had that mentality. See what you can do in your room.
Bit more than minimum.
Well, it's just repurposing stuff, though, isn't it? It's all the stuff we use for weddings, and in a tiny end of the loft that doesn't have all of my wife's stuff in it.
It's nice. Man cave.
Okay. We all need a man cave. Do you not have a man cave?
No, but getting inspiration from this, actually. An empty loft.
Definitely thinking about it now, then.
Yeah. Possibility.
But what would you have? Would you have like a pool table, or would you?
Not really.
I would love to have space.
I'd probably just put a couple of PCs in or something, just like a little editing suite for myself.
Yeah.
Just mess about with. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Right. So, Mr. Rubel is very well known in the wedding industry.
Not that well known.
He is very well known. Everyone knows Rubel Bay. Yeah, could you just introduce yourself? Tell us how you got into wedding videography and all that kind of jazz.
Well, to be honest with you, it's like purely coincidental. It wasn't like something I trained for, like a degree or something like that. It's just like something that was just like a hobby, a passion, became to a paying job.
Nice.
Over time. So most of it's all like self-taught, watching other people, learning from other people, YouTube, tutorials, watching like wedding videos online, seeing how they created the shot, try and replicate it, and just seeing what's like trending out there and what the companies are doing.
Definitely.
I think nowadays with social media, TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, everybody's uploading all their work, and then you just see anything, oh, that looks nice, I'm going to try that, or stuff like that, really, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
So at what point did you get into it? You're saying it was a hobby. Did you have a job beforehand then? And
I've always been self-employed, so I used to have my own business, and then it just came about from out of the blue, to be honest with you. Just a guy I used to know used to do it, and then I used to like drive him to jobs because he was a non-driver.
Driver to begin with.
Yeah. And then I just sit with him and just watch.
Driver to begin with and driver to continue with.
And that's it. And then it's just from there, just all started out. I just took a little interest in it, and I thought, hold on, this looks okay, looks quite good actually. Right, could make some money from this. Let's try it.
Nice. What was your first camera?
We started off with the old mini DV cameras.
Tape? No, you're not using tape for shooting weddings.
On the mini DVs, yeah, we started off with them.
I luckily just missed that. So how was that experience, using those cameras for?
At that time, to be honest with you, it was okay. The only headache was backing up the tape. You have to like capture it, and it's all done in real time. So that was the only thing. But thank God I never used to touch that side of the thing, so it was okay.
Okay, you literally were able to hand off the tapes.
Exactly.
At the end of it. Wow. Yeah. That just slows down the entire process. That creates an entire job.
Yeah.
An employment position for someone to be copying everything.
Exactly. So, everything was done in real time, and it's just like, to be honest with you, in them days, I still think it was better.
Yeah.
It was better.
Okay.
Even now, with all the modern stuff, your memory cards, everything, you're copying cards over in like minutes. I think the old school way was probably possibly better.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's just like personal choice.
In what way? Is it just more the fact that you really had to think before you start recording?
It's like once we moved on to memory cards, I think on one of the earlier jobs, we accidentally formatted a card with footage in there and we didn't back it up.
It happens. Like that is a constant luckily, with format media. Like,
managed to recover more or less most of it.
Okay.
So we got away, but it was like a learning curve, and I think it probably happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
so I don't know. We could have transferred it to a hard drive, and the hard drive could have corrupted. So it's one of those. Whereas with the physical tapes, I think you just felt a lot more secure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot harder to just wipe
Harder,
and destroy
yeah.
the whole thing.
And-
well, what if you dropped it down the toilet? Is that still formatted?
Possibly, but it's like we only used to use one tape per job, so we never used to like re-record another tape.
Okay.
So towards the end of a season, you used to have like
So you just have
boxloads of tapes,
a pile
piles of
for
tapes.
every job.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That forces you to have some level of organization with your media,
Exactly.
then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Did they buy the cards? Jeez. The tapes and give it to you on every job?
We just bulk buy boxes for every season
Okay.
and just like go through the whole season with the tapes.
Were you doing as many bookings in that time, like the early days? How was it? Was it slow to begin with, or
To be honest with you, I've been one of the fortunate ones where I've constantly been busy.
yeah.
So maybe I used to be busier then than I am now. But still, it's okay. It's good.
Nice.
It's good.
So how many years have you actually been shooting?
Well over 10, 12, 13, maybe 15 years now.
Savage.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Because I first met you when we were working
For
for
a certain company.
a certain company. I'm not meant. I'm sorry, guys. If you're listening to this
Yeah.
podcast in the hope to hear the names of companies,
We're not going to name any
we're not.
companies.
We're doing our best not to
Yeah.
name companies. So, if you want to know the down low with anything, you're gonna have to call us up in person to find out. Yeah. So we used to work for one company. It was very well established. There was lots of work
Yeah.
with that company, but it was a starting point. And to be honest, I always believe there's a place for those kind of companies.
Yeah.
In the entertainment industry with nightclubs, and there are there are promoters that are of that kind of ilk, which aren't the best, but that gives people a starting point to get into the industry.
To be honest with
So
you, right?
I'm
yeah,
thankful for it.
Yeah. I did a couple of years with them. I met some really good people. I met some crappy people.
Yeah.
But most of the people who I worked with there, I still work with to this day
Yeah.
through other companies. Most people have set up by themselves, and I still see them on a regular basis. And it's nice to see them doing well,
Yeah.
like yourself,
Yeah.
Edward. So,
But we all find our path,
yeah.
our route through it.
so it's one of the good things. And to be honest with you, at that time, the company was really, really busy. It was possibly one of the busiest companies in the UK. And we used to do loads of jobs.
Baptism by fire, like a lot. And I remember I just learnt to drive in that time, and I was having to drive to London like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tweak your microphone really quickly here, just so it's a bit
Sure.
more towards you. There we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I was doing probably a trip to London every other day.
Yeah.
At that time, yeah.
Do you think there's something to be said for working in this industry, to like living in Birmingham in the middle? Like, do you feel that's a benefit?
I think with us being centrally located, it's ideal because, like, we can go down south, we can go up north. And to be honest, the majority of work that I've always done, it's always been out of the city. It's always been out of town, Birmingham. So, traveling for us is like normal now. For some people, they might think, oh, how do you do like a 2-hour, 3-hour drive down, work, and then do 2-3 hour drive back, and then same thing next day. But in them days, it's just like normal every single day. You knew that, today was here, tomorrow's there. You're going to come home, you're going to sleep for a couple of hours, and you're back out and back on it again.
There's right in the early days of my career, I used to go on tour with the band for like a week, and every single day I would just shoot from the beginning to the end, filming the band and just living that life. I still feel like that's kind of the same thing, but in this industry now, like in that month, you don't have a choice to do things for yourself. It's sleep, wash, eat, work.
So, I mean, even now, it's like when you get booked up by companies, some will give you the details. Most people won't even give you the details.
Yeah.
It's like a week before, a couple of days before you go in here. So it's like sometimes you've taken the booking on and you don't even know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So...
And you're trying to look after yourself, but you don't know
exactly.
if you're working around the corner
Yeah.
or if you're going to be a 2-3 hour drive.
It's like the night before, if you had like a long evening job and then you come home quite late, you don't know whether you're going to get a full night's sleep or you're going to get a couple of hours sleep.
Yeah.
So it's one of them. But we will complain and moan, but then it's like you can't be the
We
buzz.
still do it.
Yeah. Once the season's over, you actually miss that buzz. I think it's like it's nice.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you're not wondering where the next
Yeah.
job's coming from. You
Exactly.
just know the next day you got to grind.
And to be honest with you, if it wasn't for this industry, I don't think I would be going to half these places.
Yeah.
You know, every single day, new place. Well, some places you go plenty of times, but then when you go somewhere different, it's nice. You get to see.
What are the nicest places then you've been enabled to go to? through this industry?
Nicest places, like when you go down south on the coast to these like rural places, or even up north, like not your typical Asian wedding venue or like a banqueting hall, but somewhere different, like a nice hotel with nice grounds. And then you drive through like a nice part of the country, you see nice scenery and everything. So it's really nice. I mean, a couple of years back we did one up in Liverpool, but we had to go to Swansea initially to the groom's house just to get a couple of shots of him and leaving the house, which to be honest was a bit of a waste of time, but still we had to do it.
Yeah.
And then we took the scenic route from Swansea to Liverpool, and it's like up through the mountains, around the coast and everything, and it's really nice. So, you know, if I wasn't doing this job, maybe I wouldn't have gone on that route. And then it's like certain spots you think, oh, that's nice. And then when you got some time off, you probably go out there and just enjoy some of the English landscape.
A lot of travelling up and down the country, getting to see things, just as a starting point.
Yeah.
Would you prefer like a little getaway holiday on your own, like in the UK for a little weekend? Or
I mean, we did that last time with the boys. I've
I've
just come back from holiday now from abroad, but we did that last time with the company we work with. We all went as a group. We booked a holiday home in Wales.
Good to hang out.
And it was nice. We all had like a couple of days, just the lads. And it was a nice part of the country.
We've got to do that again.
Yeah, we've got to do that again. Yeah. So that was nice.
Just having some lads time and just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just going for a walk and the seagulls and
fish and chips on the cliffs.
Crazy moments,
Nice.
crazy moments.
Yeah.
Okay, so in more recent years, obviously we've moved away from tapes and such.
Yeah.
What alliances and what has your process been with different brands of cameras? It's a very contended which camera brand is better. I know for a fact that you've used many. So
well, to be honest with you, from a freelance point of view, I started off with the Sony, the old big cameras, and then moved on to the DSLRs, and I started off with the Canon. And then over time, I was getting refused for jobs because I didn't have a Sony. The Sony just came to the market, and most people jumped onto the Sony bandwagon.
Okay, yeah.
So out of no choice, I had to buy a Sony just to get them jobs.
Yeah.
Right, because I was getting overlooked because I didn't have a Sony. So
I swear for a while you went exclusively Sony. You didn't have a camera, right?
I
Canon.
went exclusively Sony for a while because most of the people I was working with at that time were all Sony shooters. So I've always had like a Canon in the bag.
Yeah.
But I didn't update my Canon. I just left it at that. And then I had all my gear nicked at one point, and then I had to start again. And that's when the 5D Mark IV came out, and then I bought the 5D Mark IV. So I moved up from a 5D Mark III to a 5D Mark IV. And I had the Sony, the A7S II. And them two were my two buddies.
Iconic cameras. You know, I even remember the hotel and the job we were working on. You were one of the first people to have the Mark IV. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what's that? What's that? It's got better autofocus. Let me see it. And, oh, it's tracking. And I really didn't believe the Mark IV was much of a step up from the Mark III, but really looking back, it was a good jump in the right direction.
I mean, like
quality life.
One of my friends actually bought it. He was one of the first people to buy it. And I didn't actually physically see the camera or use the camera, but on the specs alone, I didn't think it was much of an upgrade to the 5D Mark III. But it's only having all my gear nicked. I had no choice to buy, so I thought, might as well go with the new camera. So that's when I bought the 5D Mark IV. And once you physically use it, then you see it's actually a bigger difference to the Mark III. A huge difference.
So obviously, and you had the Sony at the time, A7S2.
Yeah.
That was iconic camera as well.
That was like
great in low light video
very
camera.
good in low light camera, and it's like a smaller body, more compact. And to be honest with you, the picture quality of that was absolutely amazing.
Okay.
But it's like certain companies, for some reason, don't like the Sony color. Some people don't like the Canon color. But for me, as a freelance point of view, I had to have both setups.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was doing a lot of Seek weddings for some Indian companies, and they were all Sony shooters. So in the beginning, they used to give me a few jobs. But once they all moved to Sony, I was losing it on them jobs.
Yeah.
And they were actually like better paying jobs. Although they were longer, they were better paying jobs. So I had to make the investment into Sony. Yeah.
I miss doing Sikh weddings. Yeah. They're very long.
They are very long. They are very long.
Very long, but they're enjoyable. Like they give you more time for the couple shoot. Well, sometimes.
The best thing I think with some of the Sikh weddings, what they've done is they've split the wedding day and the reception over 2 days.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the days when you used to have everything in one day, you're starting like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're not finishing like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, late night. Although you have like little gaps in between, it's still a very long day. So if you were to shoot, say, 4 or 5 Sikh weddings back to back, I think you'll be done. Yeah.
You'd have to just do one a weekend, and that's kind of it. Like,
exactly.
Two more than that, you're a madman.
Because
go on.
we used to start off sometimes at the bride's house or the groom's house, and you start like at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. The sun's not even up yet.
Exactly. Then you're going to
you're like, there's no way there's people out of bed in this house.
Exactly. Then you're going to like the good.
The bride's like, I've been awake for 3 hours already, getting my face done.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, they're actually a little bit more organized than like Pakistani Bengali weddings, in the sense where they expect you, and they're all ready for that, for the cameraman and everything, and they give you that time. So in that sense, I think they're better. They're a little bit more used to all the cameras and everything, and videographers being there.
Would you say like Sikh weddings are your most enjoyed?
I enjoy all weddings, even though like sometimes we moan and complain. I think every single wedding is like unique, it's different. Some are messy, and you think, oh, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
And you're just like putting your hair and you're scratching your head and everything, and you're thinking, what the hell's going on here? Nobody's listening. Everyone's all over the place.
It's one of my catchphrases. Do it again, but nicely. Is that how you're doing it?
But you come back and then you reflect and you think, hold on, he was all right actually.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as like the perfect wedding. Maybe in a whole season you probably do like X amount of weddings, and you come back and think, okay, them two were okay.
Yeah.
Where we had everything on time, everything was run smoothly. We got time allocated for this, for that. We sat down, we got to eat, which is another thing. Sometimes you rarely get time to eat. And even if you do, it's like rush. But, it's very few weddings that you can come back and say, yeah, I was really happy with that one.
What percentage of a season would you say are portfolio-worthy jobs?
See, to be honest with you, because I don't upload anything myself, or, I can't really give you a percentage, but most companies will only upload their best work.
Yes.
The best work in the sense where probably the venue is nice, the deco is nice, the bride and groom are look really good on camera, and they've got some really nice shots, really nice, and they've put something really nice together, really nice photos. They'll upload on them sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Not every company will upload every single job they do.
So there's a detach from the portfolio, the Instagram reel, to what people on average would receive, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Something that will just make their page look a bit better, maybe a bit more high end. Maybe it's usually always the higher end venues and things like that.
There's more of a fight. I've seen recent years, companies trying to show and put their best foot forward with social media. I see a lot of companies trying.
I think a lot of people now, because social media is so important nowadays, I'm not really a social media person. But I do upload bits and pieces.
What people are doing.
But I'm not
I see your holiday photos.
But I'm not really an expert on social media, so I don't really know. I only got a few followers anyway. I only get a few likes.
Yeah.
But it's more just for like my friends and family, just see what I'm doing anyway. That's what it is for.
Well, why are you not getting on this talk anyway?
I'm not plugged in.
He's not plugged in. I'm forcing him to join the
Come on, Ryan.
conversation.
What do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything. Say whatever you want. Like.
I've got a multitask. I'm switching and adding content
and joining on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I need to do is need to put a GoPro just to get the Ryan cam in the background with no lighting, no background, and just rubbish in the background. But yeah,
Get a GoPro for yourself when you go on holiday. Trust me.
Yeah.
In case I have a GoPro or a 360.
yeah, because Ryan's disappearing for a whole month.
Yeah.
Month and like 2 weeks.
Oh, and 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You've already got it in your calendar.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, mate? Like, I know wedding season. It's not in wedding season, but there's still stuff to do, mate. Like,
That's probably why Arthur's training up Amir.
yeah,
Take over Ryan.
yeah. That's it.
He's got a Sony. That's the problem. I haven't got a Sony.
Well, just use their Sony. It's fine. Okay. Right. Work-life balance then. Holidays and things.
Work-life balance.
How's it been? 'Cause you work as much as as the big boys.
You know, every year I say I'm going to do less. Every year.
Uh-huh.
But then it's like I get the phone call and it's like see now, well, not even the last, say, 6-7 years, I only work for like a few companies.
Yeah.
And these companies give me enough work throughout the year to keep me busy. This year and last year, I've mostly just done work for like a couple of companies because they throw that much work at me. It's impossible to take work off anybody else. So sometimes it's nice to work for somebody else, but because they throw in the dates early, it's just difficult to take work off anybody else. And I always say I'm going to do a bit less. We know, like season time, holidays, you can't take time off.
Yeah.
July, August.
Cutting into your
September.
profits for the year, really,
Right,
isn't
yeah. So, you need to take jobs on them days because what you make from these, what's going to keep you going throughout the year. So every year I say I'll do a bit less, and it just doesn't happen. But saying that,
You're aiming towards doing more in the Midlands, though, aren't you?
yeah, I'm trying to do more like local because like now it's got to a stage where you sit in the car for like 3-4 hours there, 3-4 hours back, and it just like takes time to straighten your back out.
Yeah.
You get pain over your knees and your arms from holding the gimbal all day and stuff like that. And people don't realize the amount of steps we do in a day. It's it's sometimes a huge amount of steps we do and constantly on your feet. So it just adds up to everything, and you're not getting any younger again. So
Obviously, you and I both drive. We both end up having to pick
we
people
both
up.
end up picking up people, dropping off people.
What's your opinion on
Right.
people not driving, working in this industry, and if people are wanting to get in, should they consider driving?
I think, a car is a necessity. Unless you're doing all jobs locally and you can just get an Uber, get a taxi or something. I can't see someone going on the bus with all the equipment.
Yeah.
But I think a car is a necessity. And from the early days when I started, I used to do a lot of driving because most of the people I used to work with weren't drivers. And in between, it was like a mix where I used to work for a certain company and they used to do all the driving. They used to do the pick-up, drop-up, everything. And they used to take the responsibility of,
Yeah.
taking all the staff to the jobs and bringing them all back, which was nice. But now it's like some of the people I work with, they drive. But if you're put on a job where they're not on the job with you, you're the sole driver. So then it's like picking up, dropping off, which you don't mind so much. But sometimes it's like you finish a job and you just want to come straight home. And sometimes you're dropping people off and it's like an hour on your journey. And it's just leaving an hour earlier, coming back an hour later. And you just think, something maybe you can do without, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Especially, I was really coming to terms with this recently. I've just recently had my first child.
Yeah.
And there's even more value in just being at home, in the family home.
Yeah.
So I really want to be able to find time to get home. And, you know, this is why we work, so we can provide for the home, and it's nice to be able to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Obviously in this job, sometimes schedules don't go to plan, and it gets extended, and it becomes very hard to plan quality time with other people. Of course you can sit and watch television whenever, but if you want to see other people, it would be nice to be able to plan it, and it becomes very hard when you don't know when the end time of a job is. So that's something I've been struggling with recently, and then added on top, when you're having to drop people home, it accumulates and adds. It can sometimes double the amount of time
because you live in Coventry, and most of the people you pick up live in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's fun.
So it's like, you know, if you have to travel down south, then it's like you're going backwards in yourself and then going forwards.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going up north, you don't mind. You can stop off in Birmingham and carry on up the M6 there.
Yeah.
But when you go down south towards London or somewhere, then you have to go back into Birmingham. It's like a couple of hours.
It becomes tough. It becomes really tough.
But it's like when I go on jobs with you, it's like if we go down south, I'll always just drive down to you and then just jump in one car.
In an ideal world, everyone drives. We all take turns. All carpool to the one location, and then we head out.
Yeah,
that would be a very good situation.
But it's like, well, I'm not going to name him any, but a certain person, a really lovely guy that we both work with occasionally. After all these years, he's finally passed his test, but he's scared to drive on the motorway.
I wonder who this could be. Okay. The mystery. Yeah. Well, he's guessing there. He's guessing there, you know. Coventry is tough. I realise the ring road can be confusing for some people, but he's getting there. I'm quite proud of him. On the more recent job, there was no complaints. He went and did it spot on. Yeah, there we go.
I quite miss him actually, because I've not worked with him for quite some time. So.
Oh really? Have you not?
No.
Oh, okay. One of the old school crew. Well, he should be able to drive you to places soon, right? Well, or if not, just drive to you first and then head out. So.
Exactly.
On a few occasions I've had promises. Oh, it's okay when I get my car. Ryan's the next one. Ryan should be passing his test soon, and he's going to be driving us all.
Yeah, but like with
up north and down south. Yeah, totally.
I don't mind.
You're looking at cars. What car are you going to get?
Either a Golf or a Audi.
Yeah, it's got to join the Audi crew, man.
Same car anyway.
What's your car?
VW.
Yeah, but yours is smooth on the motorways.
It's all right. It's okay.
It's okay. When they're working, you've had loads of car problems, haven't you?
I mean, like, well, this is my third VW now. The one previous to this one, I clocked up, I think, just over 225,000.
Cool, blimey.
Much of that is work. The one before that was VW as well, and that was just under 300,000.
Wow. What, man? You must have been like worried every time you take it out on the road. This car's a bit old. Like, is it going to make this whole journey? I'm on like 186,000.
Yeah, and I guarantee majority is all work.
Yeah. Motorway miles though. Like, it's not that damaging, right? Motorway miles are better than.
It's not that damaging, but even then, it's like the thing, right? Is like people, they don't want to pay you for like driving and for
this is a battle we all have to battle. They just want to give you like a flat rate for your fuel, and
even now what they pay you for fuel is what probably we used to get paid maybe about 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In 5-10 years, the price of fuel has doubled. Cost of insurance has gone up, maintenance on your cars and everything. So that's an expense that we gotta put from our own pockets most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
You know what? I was working a corporate job yesterday, and I was chatting with a guy, and he was saying he's a sound tech for corporate events, and he said he was in the industry for a while. He dipped out during COVID because the freelance job stopped, but then there was a boom in that industry, the same way as in our industry, and he jumped back in. He had to do it, but he said one of the reasons why is because the rates jumped up.
Yeah.
That he's saying they were all charging more than they were pre-COVID. It's like, wow, there's an industry where just over time, as everything else gets up, increases, you can charge more as well. So
in our
it's
industry,
tough because
in our industry, the wedding industry, I mean, you got some companies out there who are charging ridiculous amounts of money, and people are paying those prices. Then you got some people who are doing like for peanuts for like next to nothing.
Yeah.
And they've got a market there, so it's like
I see it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even want to mention the name because I don't want to give them any extra promotion, but I see their advert on Facebook all the time.
Yeah.
£1,000 for photos and video.
Yeah. And
jeez, man,
it's just ridiculous. So I understand every family, every couple, every bride, every groom, they've got a budget in their mind. And, it's just like when you got shopping for clothes, you've got like your high-end shops, you've got your medium shops, then you've got like budget shops. So it's understandable you've got different companies, but like some people, I don't even think they do the homework when they price people up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, truthfully, how do you factor in all them hours of editing, the cost of freelancers, then your cost of getting to the job, all the overheads that come into it,
Yeah.
So, you have like a realistic figure and then you have like something stupid one.
Yeah.
They quote. I've seen like cheaper than that, people are offering like £1,200 with like an album and everything and 4K and drone and everything under the sun.
Wow.
But
I had a client message me recently. I priced differently for video. I separate the cost of the editing so they can tell me what kind of edit they want afterwards. It's a bit more bespoke in that way. But he wanted extra editing, and his message was, "Can you make it cheaper?" Just no additional reason why he loves the work. Just I want it cheaper. Well, that's the cost of it. So
yeah.
I've tried to be competitive. Please look at what other people are charging.
But I know you've seen yourself, like sometimes, right, the bride's outfit sometimes is probably like half. It's like probably the price of some of the venues they actually book for their weddings.
Yeah, like $3,000 dress.
And they probably booked a venue for like $3,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that lasts afterwards are the photos and video. You want that done nicely. Don't cheap out on that. Otherwise, your memories will always be soured of that day. You won't be proud of it. When your aunties and uncles and brothers and sisters come over to watch the film, you're not going to want to show it. That's an embarrassing situation.
But there's that many companies out there now and that many people doing it. I think, now it's like a lot of people have probably jumped onto the bandwagon thinking, hold on, it's easy money. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like now you can go out there and you can buy even a entry-level DSLR.
Yeah.
And it's sufficient.
Under a grand.
And it's sufficient for you to start.
Second-hand.
Yeah, second-hand.
Get a lens and a camera for £1,000.
I've been on jobs.
Cheaper.
Right, yeah. And the most annoying thing is, when the bride and groom, they have two companies come in.
Yeah.
It just gets messy. Some people...
I haven't seen that as much.
Yeah,
that was a very common occurrence back in the day.
Some companies I work with, they refuse to do jobs where you have like two sets of teams. Yeah. They wouldn't take the job on.
Because they understand the mess that comes from that.
Some companies are in a fortunate position where they can pick and choose their clients. Some people maybe aren't in that fortunate position. So, but I would say to most companies, I would say, look, try and take both sides on yourself.
Yeah.
Right, rather than have somebody else. Because then, if you have the majority of the weddings that we do, you're like big, high-end weddings. It's like the medium. So it's like a banqueting hall. Now, if you consider they've got 5 hours, 6 hours of the venue, then you've got to fit in all your guest arrival, the food, the bride entrance, the groom entrance, your cake cutting, your rings, or whatever they might have planned for the day, and then a ruxati. You've only got 5-6 hours. And then you got guests turning up 2 or 3 hours late. Mm-hmm. And that only leaves you a couple of hours to get through all them family photos and all that stuff. And most of these smaller venues haven't even got a place where you can take the bride and groom out to a couple shoot or something. Yeah. So you got to do that before or after, or if you don't have time, it is what it is. It's on the stage, whatever you can do.
It's hard to stay creative when you have no options and you have to make up the same things.
Exactly. And then in that time, when you've got two teams,
Yeah.
and then like you're all like struggling. Like, I get it with most people anyway. It's only like very few. Sometimes it gets a bit annoying, but most time I get it with most people anyway. But when you have like two teams who shoot totally differently, and then you got like somebody who's going to blasting a light, or you got somebody who's going to be constantly like flashing away, and then constantly running up and down with the gimbals, which is like the most annoying thing they invented. The gimbal.
You're a gimbal bro too, man.
But it's the most annoying thing ever. Right.
And so is Ryan. Ryan's a gimbal bro.
Am I?
Aren't you?
I didn't use my gimbal once on that menu.
Yeah.
So-
He got away with it. Yeah, nice.
And then
Just let the other chap do it.
exactly, you only get that one attempt at the entrance. You only get that one attempt at certain shots, and you end up both of you like losing like a nice shot or something.
On a recent job, I'm not mentioning names, you had yourself plus two others on gimbal, all doing the entrance.
Exactly.
Standing in front of the bride and groom.
Exactly.
Where the guests can't see.
Yeah.
And then only myself as the photographer.
Yeah.
And I, as much as possible, I'll try and take one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end, and I'll just stand back.
But like Ed, see, I've worked with you so long now, right? I know how you shoot. You know how I shoot. So we pre-plan what we're going to do anyway.
Yeah, we have a nice flow of it.
And that's it. So, I'll let you get your one at the beginning, possibly one in the middle.
And you look out for me. You give me shots, man. Since when do videographers do that?
Yeah, but like when I'm on the gimbal, I very rarely just like sit right in front. I give enough space because I like to get like a nice shot of the legs walking as they're walking in. So you get like a nice wide shot. And I expect like if I've got a second shooter with me to give you that angle.
Yeah.
To get you like that mid shot or, something creative on the side. Because if you work like that, then you can get like a nice flow and everything. But then you get certain people who'll be running in and out, and then side to side and everything. And it just like gives you a headache. It's like watching a tennis game.
Yeah, I've seen wedding films that are just continuous motion, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's too much.
But I prefer the old school way.
Oh, okay.
A couple of cameras, like one person on a monopod and maybe like a couple of tripods, depending on how many people you have shooting and how big the wedding is. And to be honest with you, like I know it's nice with the gimbal certain shots and everything, but you can't beat an old school tripod.
Mm-hmm.
You get that motion of you walking, and everyone does slow mo now anyway. So once it's all slow mo down and everything, it's all nice. And maybe just one gimbal in the mix just to get you a little bit of motion.
Yeah, really, it's a specialist tool. It's
exactly.
It's as if everyone was using drones at the same time. It's like it's a specialist tool. You don't use it for everything.
Exactly.
Like
I mean, I did a wedding
bridal
once.
prep with a drone.
I did a wedding once, right? Yeah, where for the when the cars were coming in, so we had two companies, and so they had both of them with the drones up in the air, and they're like almost like each other's around.
Yeah. No, I've flown as well when the other companies had got their drone as well, and it's. But
truthfully, future bride and grooms, they should consider just booking one company. Like both of you meet up, decide on whose work you like and who's within your budget or what have you, and just book one company. The difficult thing I think is like where you've got like say the groom lives up in another city and the bride lives in another city, and then it just makes it a bit difficult. But ideally, it's better if you have one company because then like everybody's used to working with each other, and then it's just easier.
Yeah. What would you say are the biggest factors between the high end, beyond the price, the high end companies doing what they do, and like what factors create good work?
Yeah. To be honest with you, Ed, I think the difference between like most of the high end companies, right? Yeah, is they have better venues. Their clientele will have booked better venues. Most of the 5-star hotels or like something unique or something different, right? They'll have like a better deco. In terms of time and allocation, I can't really speak because most weddings are a bit chaotic anyway, but maybe they'll give you that little bit more time. But with high-end weddings, it's like they want more like discreet, not in your face, and you shoot in a different way. You still get all your basics, you get everything more or less as you do like a normal wedding, but it's just like more to do with a bit more organization, a bit more time, and I think it's just like the nicer decor, the nicer venues, and everything just adds more to that high-end finish. you can shoot a wedding like in a normal banqueting hall. And then you can shoot one off in one of these big 5-star hotels or something, one of the more iconic venues. And you'll see straight away, it's like difference in terms of lighting. They'll have like better lighting. They'll have like a better DJs with, all the haze and all that stuff and all really nice lighting going around. The deco, everything. It's just different.
Yeah. In my eyes, yes, time is helpful. I've always said
time is
if they give time.
Yeah.
But with the bride and grooms that spend the big money, they're gonna have a think about what they actually want to receive. They're gonna have a think of, I would like these kind of shots. If they just hire anyone to do a job, we've got video sorted. They're not even going to think about it. But when they're spending the bigger amounts of money, they're going to want a better product. They'll do their research because they're not going to spend that much money without doing their research. So they know what kind of shots are possible. And I think they're more likely to communicate. I think they're more engaged with, we're going to receive something good. Let's make sure we can give the videographers the best we can. And that in turn, yeah.
No, but, I've been fortunate to work with some good companies. Well, most people I work with are good people. I've been getting on with everybody. Everybody's still like a friend to me.
Everyone's doing the best they can.
But like, a certain company I worked for, and I did a couple of years with them. And I like the work. I like the style of work. And it's just different working with them guys. And I'll be honest with you, it's like more like a production line. So everybody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a job to do. Everyone's got
their
a role to
roles.
play.
You don't have 3 people standing next to each other with the same lens.
Exactly, yeah. So, with them we used to do a lot of like, the nicer venues, a little bit more high-end weddings. And in terms of work, it's no different to working for like one of the medium-sized companies work or just like a normal standard wedding.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I won't say like a lower-end wedding because like in the day, everybody's different. Everybody's got a budget. Not everybody can afford to have a big luxury wedding. Not everybody can. Everybody in group, it's their special day, whether they have it in a school hall or they have it in a 5-star hotel up in London. It's their special day, so you got there to do your best for everybody, regardless whatever it is. But with this company, what I used to like is they've got like a fixed way of working, and everybody knows what they're doing, and it just makes your life easier.
Actually having clear instructions and
we don't. There's never really like clear instructions, but everybody knows what they're
roles.
doing.
Okay,
everyone knows the role, And to be honest with you, like shooting a wedding, it's not really rocket science. As long as you know what you're doing and you've shot a few and you know the customs and like for example, Pakistani weddings will be a certain way, Bengali weddings will be a certain way, Sikh weddings will be a certain way, Hindu weddings, Christian weddings. So as long as you know most of what's going on anyway, then you know which part you need to concentrate on, what you don't need to concentrate on, what you need to cover, what you don't need to cover. And as long as you've documented the whole day of what went on, and then you've got like nice little couple shoot of the bride and groom and all that stuff, then you're more or less done. You've got everything. So it's just like them with like the fundamentals of like Asian weddings, but it's just like how you interpret the story yourself and how you shoot it yourself. Everyone's got their own unique style.
So would you say the fundamentals are more important than pushing to get something creative?
You have... I can't, because I don't edit or I don't deliver films. But then I can only get feedback from the company I work with.
Okay,
what they want. So certain companies will give an itinerary. This is what's happening. We know it doesn't happen on time, but at least you know what's happening on the day. Whether, say, you got guest arrival at 1 o'clock, that might be 2, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
But at least you got guest arrival, you got cake cutting, you got entrances, you got speeches, what have you. So everything's all broken down to itinerary, so you know when to be ready for what.
What's likely to be happening, and that's usually a message from the family, so you can hold them accountable. This is what you said. This is what we're expecting.
Yeah.
It's good to
And
have.
then there's certain companies you go to work for, and there's no itinerary, you don't know what's happening, and you just like
Just
literally, you just like
whatever.
shoot,
Just shoot whatever.
whatever, you know. So I think the difference between like the hiring companies, because they have like consultations with the clients, and they probably have meetings, what have you, and they've got like an itinerary of the day, and what they'll do is they'll probably do a site visit to the venues. So they know before they even get to the venues, they know where they're going to shoot, what's going to happen where, what's going
To be honest, we don't need to do that.
Right,
We've seen so many of the ones that we're going to be working in. Like,
But-
we know which venues have the flickery lights. We know which light bulbs are not working in some.
So, I think like them things are the key different things. And they don't take as much jobs on.
Yeah.
They don't take a certain amount of jobs. They won't do, like some companies will take 3-4 jobs in a day. They won't do that. And most time what happens is because they all work in-house, so it's the same people going to the same jobs, whereas you can book certain companies and you don't know, they're outsourcing freelancers for jobs.
Yeah.
So you could be working with different people every other day. But most time I'm working usually with the same people anyway, so it's very rarely I work with somebody new.
I'm glad we still have the opportunity to work with each other, man. Like,
how many years is it now? About 10 years?
Getting that way. I was going to say minimum 8.
Yeah. And we still do jobs here and there together. So it's nice. And the thing is, once you know somebody, you know how they work. So you know what they're...
What to expect of the day.
Yeah, and it just makes life easier.
You know what? I do, working with some people to come back to work with you, I do have a breath of a relief of like,
yeah.
Rubel's on the job.
It's the same thing.
We can share the workload.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, recently I went on a job and like the bride was getting ready at a hotel, the Belfry in Tamworth. So me and the photographer, we arrived there. So we got the show ready. So we were waiting in the lounge area. She said she's going to come out. So she wanted just like, a few shots of herself and everything. All of a sudden the groom turns up with like about 30 members of his family. And I'm thinking, hold on.
Okay.
And then like...
Expecting the bride and the groom turns up with his family.
No, the bride was there getting ready. The initial item that we got was like to go get like a few prep and a few shots of her there. And then from there we'll go back to her house and then leave for the venue.
Okay.
There was nothing mentioned about the groom being there or his like 30 members of his family being there. So that was like a
surprise.
So I didn't mind that, but then when his team of like 3 camera people turned up.
Oh wow, okay.
So if she's only allocated just like say half an hour shoot time, although she's running late getting ready, once his camera team are up, then that 30 minutes of time allocation probably dropped down to 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a shot that we want, and there's a shot that they want. So, it's like...
That cuts the time in half again, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. So, it's just like these are like the most annoying things. And...
Okay, here we go. Let's get to the annoying things.
Yeah.
What are the most annoying habits of that you've seen of people? Maybe they're old school photographers, videographers. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're too eager. What's the most? What grinds you the wrong way?
Where do you start?
Yes. Come on in. Come on.
9 out of 10, I think, is like when you get sent to like a hotel where the bride or the groom is getting ready and there's no parking, and you got to park miles away, and then you like drag all your equipment in. That's one annoying thing.
Let's get specifics. I want annoying situations.
Right.
Because that happened on the most recent job. All the parking was gone. They're already doing their entrance.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get into the building.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the photographer's here. Yeah, because I can't teleport.
You get there, they give you a specific time, and we know 9 out of 10 they're going to be ready for that time anyway. So you don't mind if you run late about 20 minutes, but when you're sitting there for like an hour, 2 hours, right, that's annoying. Makeup artists.
Hey, we agree on this.
Most of them are lovely, but some of them are piss-taking. Right.
And I'm sure makeup artists have pet peeves with us as well. I'm sure it goes both ways.
I mean, like, back in the days, right? Yeah, I remember we used to like go in and we used to get shots of during and stuff like that. But now we very rarely even do that. We just,
when I first started, someone would record the entire process of them getting their makeup done.
Yeah. But now it's like we normally just go when the makeup artist is done, and then we go and do our things. And she's like, the makeup artist, they'll be like, oh, we need to go to our next job, so we'll be quick.
Yeah.
So then you start, and then they're there with the camera, like taking like hundreds of videos and everything. So they're there taking another 20, 30 minutes. And you're thinking, hold on, you're in a rush to go to your next job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're on limited time. And they're there doing their Instagram reels and their TikTok and their Snapchat.
Bride and groom's day, taking their photos on their phone, showing the bride, I'll send you all of them. Well, there's a camera team they're paying for to send them all of them. So maybe give them 5 minutes.
Not all. Not all. I mean, like, they probably got bad things to say about us. But, I get on with everybody. It's not that. But, inside sometimes it's just annoying. You just want to, like, do your job and...
No, we're not saying all makeup artists, but when you've delayed the beginning of the day because you've turned up late to start your makeup, you've done the makeup an hour later than was on the schedule, you've knocked everything else on, and because of that, we have to deal with the families saying, "Oh, hurry up, just take one more shot, and we'll move on," and we have to do our job as well. So we get it in the neck for the rest of the entire day.
But I have noticed one thing that most times they do, most brides, they do give the makeup artist more priority and a bit more time, even if the makeup is turned out late and the makeup artist was like someone quite big in the market, someone with a huge following or something. Then even if she turns up late, even if she finishes late, don't say much. But if you turn up like a couple of minutes late, they'll be like,
oh, where are you? It's no good.
I've turned up to the house maybe 5 minutes late, and they're like, you're late. And then you're sitting down there for like an hour doing nothing because nobody's ready.
Yeah.
But certain companies I work with, they don't go to houses. They start straight at the venue.
Yeah, so
right.
I agree. That's something we all need to stop doing.
And then they finish at the venue.
Let's go to the event.
And it's nice, right? And then there's, certain people, they want you to start from the house and then go back to the house. I very rarely go back to the houses now. It's just on the odd occasions.
Yeah, touch wood. Let's never go back to the house again.
It's the most annoying thing, going back to a house. Recently, I had to go back to the house. It was only for like an hour. So
still an hour.
The bride and groom left the venue before us. We packed up. We got there about 20 minutes later. And there's no sign of the bride and groom. The guy's probably got himself a rental and is like cruising around Birmingham with his wife.
Yeah.
And like phoning them, we just gone for a coffee. We'll be back in a bit. Mate, you only got an hour and half an hour is gone already.
Yeah.
And then they expect you to stay a bit longer. And,
it's our wedding day, but this is work. This is a work day for us. What do you do for a living? Would you stay an extra hour just because?
Harsh.
No, every day. It's our work day.
Yeah, no, but it's like, as harsh as it sounds now, right? Yeah, it's like...
It does sound harsh, but it's the truth.
I don't mind, like, if somebody runs over like a couple of minutes, few minutes, half an hour, whatever. But
if we give the grace time. But
stay an hour, 2 hours extra, I just find that annoying now. It's like, you've booked from this time to that time. If you can take longer, when you book for longer?
Yeah.
They don't say nothing when the venue says, okay, your finish time is at 5 o'clock, you got to leave at 5.
Yeah.
But with us, it's like always, come on, one more.
Yeah.
Picture. Do you know what I mean? So, but that I think is more to do with your your middle range and bottom end companies. It's like the budget people because that's mostly it's like budget clients usually are like that.
Yeah, just allow
no disrespect
the
to them,
clients
but it's just like they allow the clients to do everything. Well, most of the high-end companies, they'll have a contract in place and everything, and they'll have if you run over, that's what the charge is going to be, or this is where we start from, this is where we finish. Everything's in writing and everything's all contracted up. So the clients, no. But most high-end clients don't expect you to go back to the house anyway.
Yeah.
They finish, they start at the venue. Most times they're at the venue getting ready anyway.
Yeah.
It's usually in like a hotel somewhere, so they'll be getting ready nearby
15 minutes away.
Yeah, or even the venue, and you finish at the venue and that's it.
Yeah. Go on, Ryan. 3 most annoying things.
What the clients do?
Yeah. Or just annoying. No, not just clients.
Sometimes
just
one of the clients, it's like,
other freelancers, companies, or come on. I want to.
Freelancers.
What do you find annoying?
When they say they're going to go pray in the 16 hours later.
Being on their phones while working, not able to work together, and
One more shot, that's always.
one more shot. That's one of my pet peeves, man.
Yeah.
We all, yeah. One more shot turns into 20 more shots. Yeah. That's fine for the client. You expect it from the client, but for the people you're working.
No, but realistically, like, from photography videos point of view, as long as you've documented the day from start to finish, and you've got enough, sufficient, it's no use saying, okay, one more. Like, I know some people, they'll, like, do a shot here and they do the same shot in a different place and the same shot in a different place.
Yeah.
So if I was an editor, I'd like crazy, and it's the same day shot in three different places. Which one? It's all good saying, yeah, we've given you like something to think about. If more than anything, you've probably given him like a headache.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think you can overshoot sometimes, and then that's just causing more trouble for yourself when it comes down to editing it and the thing. As long as you've got all your basics, you've covered the day, you're okay.
Yeah, so long as the bride and groom are happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Also, you work with lots of different companies, lots of different people jumping in other people's cars. I know you like to keep things streamlined in terms of your equipment. What are the essentials? What are the main things a videographer should have, and what things are just not needed?
See, what I do is, like, before I used to have I take literally everything with me. Now I've stopped. Mm-hmm. If I take my car in my
You're
boot,
an inspiration.
No, if I take my car,
trying my best to do
if I take
this.
my car in my boot, I've always got tripods, light stands, lights, what have you, everything always in there.
Yeah.
Even though I don't bring my lights out, a lot of people know I don't bring my lights. Right, yeah. But
do you have lights?
I have lights.
Oh, no one heard that. It's fine. No one asked him.
I don't have batteries.
Yeah, okay. What's the cables?
Right. So, most of the venues we shoot in is like repeat venues. So you know which venue you're going to need extra light, which venue you can get away without light.
Yeah.
So that's one good thing. Another thing is, if you know who you're working with, you know what they're going to bring. So it's pointless you all taking the same thing. I know some people carry big, massive roller cases. I've got roller cases and I've took them on jobs with me, and I hate them. I just like a little backpack with what I need to cover that job, which is enough batteries, variation of lenses, my body, and a spare body just in case your body packs in.
Yeah.
And enough batteries and memory cards. That's the key essentials.
Yeah.
And all that stuff fits in my backpack, and then a tripod. And if the people I'm working with don't have lights or a light stand or something, I'll take that as extra. Sound, a mic. Sometimes if you're going to have like a nikah, if you have speeches or something like that, just to get some better audio. So that's another essential, I would say, you put in your bag. So if I'm working with a certain person, I know he's going to have a white lens, he's going to have a couple of primes, then I'll just like try and take something opposite to what he's got, so that at least we can have like a variation. With me, I just like to travel light, because most times when you get to a venue, and what people don't realize is, like, you've got all your camera gear every day, and people don't realize, like, it's £1,000 worth of equipment, and it's just sitting there. And sometimes, it could be there at the back of the venue, we're outside.
Well, from experience.
Yeah, we're out there doing a couple shoot somewhere, I'm not going to say it happened to me, but you hear stories of people's equipment getting robbed and all that stuff. You physically, you don't have a person there looking after your gear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get kids. I've had my tripod knocked down a few times by kids. Right, yeah. Luckily, like, no damage to my camera, but in the day, it's still...
I've seen a kid playing with a light stand, and it was one of our colleagues who always uses the big lights.
Yeah.
I think it fell and smacked him on the head.
Yeah.
And everyone looked around to us and like, well...
Exactly.
I didn't drop it on him.
And another thing is, sometimes, when you go to some venues and you're like, confined spaces, and then you got, say, 3, 4 cameraman there with 3-4 big massive roll cases and big bags and everything, then it's like, you've got like a pile of all equipment, which most times you don't even need that much equipment.
Yeah.
And, you have to think regarding space. And me, I'm very fussy. Like, I don't like all light stands and stuff in my shot. I like a clean shot with all that stuff. I don't.
Sorry.
So when you get all that stuff there and, people putting up light stands just for the sake of it and all that, when you're walking backwards the game, sometimes you got a chance of knocking yourself into it because, you're in like a confined space. I work with certain people who, I think, excessive flash.
Excessive flash. I think that's the number one pet peeve.
Right, yeah.
For Mr. Rubel, excessive.
It is. Yeah.
I know full well not to flash when you're shooting.
On one job, we had 2 photographers, and both of them decided to put up 2 sets of Kodak 8600s.
Yeah.
So that's like 2,400 watts of power going off. And you're trying to
6
shoot,
watts is enough, people.
you're trying to
not
shoot
2,400.
You're trying to shoot video at the same time. It's just
Yeah.
So I think it's always good to have an extra body because you don't know, your body could pack up.
Yeah.
And that's it. As long as you got your key.
What's your favorite lens? What's your favorite lens to shoot on?
Well, it all depends. If it's like a one-man shoot and you haven't got time to change lenses, so you need something and you can't beat a 2470. So, you can cover a whole job with a 2470. Sometimes you might not get that look that you want of a 2470, but, it's covered. So I think something along those lines is a basic for a go-to lens for everybody. And what I tend to do normally is like depending on who I work with. So like for your preps details, I put on the 50, somebody else will put on a 35 or 85, and then depending on space and where you are, and then we'll just work off that. And then for the entrances, you get somebody middle wide 35. If they haven't got 35, maybe they've got 2470, so they just stick a 24 on or something. And then you get somebody from the side who will give you like a second angle, either with a 50 or 85 or something. So it's just like a variation. So, truthfully, you only need, I think, 2 or 3 lenses.
Yeah.
But I would recommend somebody to have always a backup body.
A good middle lens, a nice stylistic lens,
Yeah.
like a prime 35 or a 50, and then something with a bit more zoom.
Exactly. So, I've always had 2 bodies.
Do you have one Sony and one Canon, or do you have 2 Sonys?
Now I've streamlined all my equipment. Now I've got rid of a lot of stuff. So I only have one Sony body and one Canon body. Because most jobs I do now is usually 2 shooters, so I don't have to worry about a second body.
Yeah, I guess.
But then I'll always, most of the time I take my 2 bodies with me just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen people back in the days where they've gone through a job with one body and the body's packed in, and now they're stuck halfway through the wedding. So,
you got to have.
You always have that in the back of your head because in the day it's like an electrical equipment. It's like
it can break.
It's a machine. It can break.
Yeah.
So, I would always say, you get yourself 2 bodies. Have enough batteries. Last thing is you want to go on a job and be charging batteries.
Yeah.
So always have enough charged batteries.
I've had to send Kasha over from Coventry to Birmingham to bring me extra batteries. It was a Sikh wedding, and I had 2 batteries, one of which was like a knockoff one, not even a proper Canon.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting through this day.
Yeah. Right. And memory cards.
Yeah.
Right, it's happened to the best of us. Sometimes you probably turn up with the job and you've got to put the memory cards in your bag.
Yeah. Well, you got to check these things the night before.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
You got to go through stuff.
I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It's happened to... I've seen it all happen. I've seen everything.
I've seen everything in my time.
Right, I've done a job where the guy is only put his gimbal bag in, but there's no gimbal in the bag.
Really?
Yeah.
I got the bag for it. It's the thought that counts. Yeah. Has that ever happened to me? I don't know. I must have.
You got the gimbal with you.
Just yeah.
But I think
I I've seen people use a light stand instead of a tripod.
Yeah, I've seen that happen as well. I've seen that done.
Want to do that one?
I've seen that
I
done.
wonder. Yeah, everyone, basic stuff. Take a tripod when you're doing video.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But sometimes it's just nice to travel light if you can. If you can't, then obviously you can't. But it's nice to travel light because sometimes you're like certain venues where you're carrying all your stuff and you're going up like 3-4 flights of stairs, and you got to carry it all back down again, and then you're rushing around packing everything up. If you have to go back when you finish back to the groom's house, then you have to pack up everything and then get in your car, and they don't understand. They'll be like, "Oh, how come you're late?"
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We have to, send you off on your way, then go back, pack everything up, put everything into a bag, then come back out. So
Takes a bit of time. Takes a bit of time.
I very rarely take anything extra. It's just essentials what I need for the job. So depending on who I'm working with, I know what they've got, they know what I've got, and that's it.
So what about the importance of feeding your photographers?
Now, if you do the middle-sized weddings in one of the banqueting halls, most of the venues we've been to, we know all the waiting staff. It's always the same faces. Everybody.
Good to be nice to them.
Yeah, they'll always feed you. It's when you go to sometimes some of the higher end weddings where they've got a seating plan where the staff, everybody else, all your camera crew, your DJs, everybody else will be pushed into maybe like a side to another room or somewhere, and they'll only like feed you there. And some caterers are nice; they'll bring out all the food. Some caterers are a bit iffy in feeding you, and it's one of those where sometimes you have time to eat, sometimes you don't have time to eat.
Yeah.
Or if you do get food, by the time you've got the food, it's like before you can even start eating, it's like something else is going on, so you have to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Go. But when you do like your normal banqueting hall weddings, you will eat because the families always feed you.
Yeah. Literally, with carrying equipment and stuff like that, I pretty much expect some food.
Yeah.
It's one of the quickest ways to wind me up and get me grumpy throughout the day is to not be fed, because literally I'll eat breakfast, but then I won't eat until the meal because we're working non-stop.
Exactly,
We can't pop to McDonald's. We don't have an extra hand to have a sandwich in our back pocket. So when it comes to 7-8 in the afternoon and we haven't eaten since, say, maybe like 9 in the morning, like... It's good to have some food, and it's that historic story that's set into people's minds of the photographer that deleted all the files because he didn't get fed. I think in that instance he was a family friend and he wasn't a professional, but would never do something like that. But I would definitely get cranky and.
No, it's always nice, like it's always nice when you have like a family member or somebody who will actually come and see
look
after you if you've got a table or something. Sometimes you're on the seating plan, which is very nice, where the family's thought of you.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's like when you shoot most of the weddings that we shoot, it's like the only time you get to do a couple shoot is during food. So once the food is served, that's when you probably take out the bride and groom to do a couple shoot to get the shoot and everything. By which
some
time,
cultures they have a couple shoot the day before, the day after.
Yeah.
Like.
So by the time you finish that couple shoot and you
cram it in,
brought them back in, everybody's finished eating. So like most of the food's probably gone cold, or the food, and then it's like you might have time to eat, you might not have time to eat.
But this is the expectation versus reality. Can you create world-class photography and video in the time it takes for people quicker than people get to finish a plate of food?
Exactly.
Because the bride and groom want to come back and have their plate as well. So
that's the thing.
Let's describe it like that.
That goes back to like what I said earlier on. Most times, right? Yeah, they've got the venue booked for like 5-6 hours. Most say 12 till 5, 12 till 6, whatever it is. So in that time, you have to wait for the guest to arrive. You've got to wait for the bride side to arrive, the groom side to arrive. Then whatever tradition they do, then the entrance is, then your cake, then your food, then all your family shots. So realistically, how much time have you got? It's only 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
And you might think 5-6 hours is a long time, but it's not really.
Yeah.
When you consider everything else that's going on. That's why. So when you get some like nicer venues, high-end weddings, you've got like nice grounds. You've got everything there. The bride will be there. The groom will be there. So you get all your brides getting ready shots. You get your grooms getting ready shots. You might even do the couple shoot and all your immediate family shots before the guests have even come.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the difference.
yeah.
With them sort of weddings.
It's nice to do those family shots
Exactly.
at the venue as opposed to doing it at the house anyway. We might moan about going back to the house,
Yeah.
but genuinely, you've paid for the decor.
Yeah.
Let's get your family shots done there. Because those are the photos you're going to want to be able to print out and put on the mantelpiece.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So, it's just, that's why with some of these weddings, they have no itinerary, no nothing. You just go there and you just like go with the day and that's it. We moan about them weddings, but truthfully, sometimes it's nice to do them weddings.
Yeah.
In a way, because you're going to sit down, you're going to get fed.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah. And
At least that.
it's you can just be normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's all right. You can turn up with your jeans on and a pair of trainers. Nobody really cares. Whereas if you go on and doing like...
do you plan your outfit depending on what the venue is?
yeah, according to venue and,
fair play.
and who I'm working for, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Fair play, fair play.
Yeah, because I think if you go to some of these like weddings and you go a bit smart, you might be probably outdressing the bride and groom.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. Yeah, depending.
Joke.
Right, let me have a quick look on our list to see if there's any questions that need to be asked and unanswered. Is there anything you particular want to talk about? Any stories? Any insightful bits of Rubel
Not really.
wisdom?
I mean, it's like, I don't know. And every day is a learning experience.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as I finished here, I finished there. You're buying new equipment, trying to keep in touch with what's latest thing. Sometimes, you invest in newer, better cameras, not because on paper it's better or you need it. It's because sometimes it makes your life easier. Back in the days when you started, you needed a lot of light. Now with the newer cameras, you're needing less light.
Yeah.
Because you can, amp up the ISO to whatever. Just like equipment now, I think makes your life easier. But saying that, the quality of phones have gone better. So you get so many guests, families taking pictures on phones and everything, which is sometimes annoying.
That was a Bassel one,
Right,
recent
yeah.
one.
They're always in your way and everything. And, so when you look on the back of a screen on the camera and you sometimes look at a picture on a phone, like on one of the latest iPhones or something, it just looks sometimes better on the iPhone.
Yeah, but guaranteed our footage looks better once it's been color graded, edited into a film, and you can display it onto your big 55-inch TV at home.
Exactly.
Guaranteed our footage is going to look better than that mobile phone. So.
Exactly. But on that time, sometimes you look and you think, I've got that to compete with.
Yeah. Well, because it looks good instantly.
It looks good instantly, yeah.
On the back of, and
Exactly.
like it's all AI retouched.
Yeah.
It's understood the scene. It's made your thing, your subject pop for you.
But then, you do some weddings and you've got now some guests will come in with like a GoPro and they're doing like a vlog and they're always all over the place. Then you get some guests will come in with one of them 360 cameras.
Yeah.
Right? We've done one once where the amount of shots they ruin with that 360 thing is unbelievable. Right, yeah. And, you're trying to explain to the bride, come on, guys. And they say, no, but they're important as well. They need to shoot all that stuff. Then why do you book somebody professional to come in?
Yeah, if it's hindering what we're doing.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think you're getting more by ruining what you've paid for?
Exactly. So, crowd control is difficult sometimes.
Yeah, because there's so many different personalities. You try and not upset anyone.
Exactly.
And,
right, yeah. And what people don't realize sometimes is we only get one attempt at certain things.
Yeah.
And it's trying your best to get it right that first time. And, they have to understand that it's not going to be perfect sometimes. It's not because we've not gone out there to get it perfect, but it's because it's beyond our control.
Yeah.
So certain venues, the space is so tight, and you've got people crammed in, and
Yeah.
the only way to get around with it is like if you did with the fisheye.
Yeah.
So
What's tough in those kind of spaces, yes, they want to get their shots on the phone as well, and they think they're safe by standing next to you, but especially when you're in a position when you're on a gimbal and your job is to be able to move in that little bit of space.
What some people don't understand is what the naked eye sees is not what the camera sees.
Yep.
So we was doing a nikah once. So they had the bride upstairs in a room, and it was like a cupboard. I wouldn't even call it a room. It's like a cupboard.
Okay.
Right. So
a bridal closet.
It's literally, you could like stretch your arms out, like, arm to arm.
Yeah.
And in there you had the bride, you had all the sisters, you had a mum, you had a dad, and everybody. And
Wow.
the imam comes up to read the nikah, and there's no space for the imam. Then you have so many other people in there. And then you've got like me as a cameraman from one side, then you had the cameraman from the other side.
There's two teams.
Then you had two photographers in there. Everybody trying to record nikah.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I had that 20mm lens, and even then with the 20mm I couldn't cover it.
Oh, well, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I couldn't even cover it with the 20mm.
It's a wide lens, but it's not
Right,
fisheye wide.
And
It's tough.
it's just like people don't understand, and
I would love to know if they look back and are they surprised or are they not surprised when in those situations there's just no space.
yeah,
I'd love to know.
Comment
Comment below.
There's the new trend going on now where they have like the nikahs with that partition in the middle, and you have the bride on one side and the groom on side, and their families and
Yeah.
the nikah and everything. So recently we done one event. I can't remember whose event it was actually, to be honest with you. It wasn't with you guys, it was somebody else. So we've walked the groom in, we've sat him down. So we're expecting the bride to come and sit on the other side. So we got all the tripods, everything was set up. Right,
Okay.
literally, as soon as we walk the bride in, we're going to move the tripod into the middle. So we've got a nice wide shot covering everything, and then we'll grab the angles.
Yep.
We've got the groom mic'd up, we've got the imam mic'd up, and everything. Next thing is they've gone down. They've not even told us. Luckily, I managed to spot them in the back of the head, right here. Like, they're doing the bride's nikah on the other side.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So
What? They started in a car when you're on one side of it?
no, they didn't bring the bride up to the partition part. That was there just for show.
Oh, yes.
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 So they had it in two separate places.
Yeah.
So, it'd be nice if you told us.
Yeah, I've been on a job like that where they're doing the nakar
So
elsewhere, but you got that there for a reason.
Luckily, we've got
Mike.
the mic on the imam, so we've picked up the audio
Yeah.
of that. But in terms of like a video, we've managed to get in the last minute and just get like a couple of clips. Of it,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand sometimes
Communication's key.
why you,
Communication's
but
key.
I don't understand why you would have that partition there in the first place if you're not going to go along
Yeah.
doing it that way. So
Well, it's someone's idea, but
Yeah.
not everyone's idea.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. What's your idea on shooting different ways in camera? In that, like, yes, we've got latest cameras and that kind of stuff, but we're not using the full capacity of them. We're not shooting necessarily 4K every time. We're not always using log. What's your thoughts on log and shooting the higher end kind of?
See, most people who I work with now have got their own settings on their 4G settings,
Yep.
how they want it. So you just go on with that. A certain company wanted me to shoot log. I shot one wedding for them on log. I wasn't too happy because I was restricted to what I can do. But I think, with the wedding, when you're shooting with like 2 or 3 cameramen, unless everybody's on the same wavelength and everybody got similar
Yeah.
settings on, it's going to be difficult to match everything up. Anyway, regardless whether you're recording log or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all each their own, to be honest with you. But I think log is okay if you're doing like a pre-shoot or you're doing a controlled shoot or something like that. It's okay.
Something you got a bit more time to.
Yeah. Everything else, as long as everybody's shooting a certain profile, some people shoot flat, some people shoot like really colorful, some people shoot, depends what they want, right? Yeah, as long as your white balance is all matched up and everything, and everybody's shooting more or less like similar, then it's just easier.
Is 4K the future, or are we going to be shooting 4K?
4K, I do shoot 4K at the moment, but I'm not sure a whole wedding 4K. It's mostly just like certain parts of it we shoot in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4K is the future. But how soon everybody jumps onto a full wedding on 4K is the question.
It's just going to be so heavy on them.
It's heavy on the files and all that and everything. Yeah, so it's really down to the companies now.
Fair enough.
I don't know very many companies who are delivering a full wedding on 4K. Maybe some of the like smaller weddings, it's okay.
Yeah,
but if you're going to be delivering like one of these Asian weddings over 3-4 days on 4K, it's a lot of files.
It's a lot of files. A lot of files.
Especially 2 or 3 cameras.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Destination weddings, you've done some. What's your most memorable destination wedding, and how did that go?
I've not done like a full wedding on destination. It's mostly just been like pre-shoots and everything.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We've got a couple booked this year, so let's see
Nice.
how that goes. To be honest with you, most of the ones I've done have been all like pre-shoots, and they've all been like off-season. From a freelance point of view, I wouldn't want to go to a destination wedding. I've had the opportunity to go last year and the year before, but they were like in like August time. It would be a nice experience, but I wouldn't go on a destination wedding in peak season purely because from a financial point of view, it doesn't work out for me.
Takes out too many days.
Yeah. Because I know in like July, August, like we're shooting every other day, so that's like a wage coming in every single day. Whereas if I was to go to a destination wedding and you're there for like, you shoot maybe just like 2 days, but you're there for like 4 days, so you're losing out 2 days, and then you probably can't take a job the day after when you come back with the day before. So for me, it's like I'm losing out. Off season, I don't mind. So this year we've got a couple booked in. Last year I think we've done quite a few, but it's mostly been pre-shoots. Italy was nice, but it was like -2, -3.
Oh, really?
On the video, it didn't look like it, but it was like -2, -3. I had to go out there and buy an extra jacket.
Yeah.
Santorini was nice. Weather was not too bad. It was okay, but location-wise, really nice. So it all depends. I mean, like, on the location where you're going. Mostly, I think it depends on location.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ideally, you want to go somewhere with like 2 or 3 hours flight. You don't want to be traveling like 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's nice. It's somewhere different. Yeah.
Do you feel like that you are able to keep creative, or do you feel like a lot of weddings are just very similar? Like,
to be honest with you, right? Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody shoots differently. Even like if I work with a company with certain people, they see something, I see something.
okay, yeah,
You know, so it's
Filling
like trying
the role.
try and bring it together. You just have to keep upping your game, to be honest with you. You just have to keep seeing what's trending, what's nice, whatever. But then every wedding's different. So, you could watch a certain company's work. I mean, like there's a few companies out there who I love their work.
yeah,
But where they're shooting and the location they're shooting, it's very hard to replicate something like that.
Yeah,
to where
yeah.
we are shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe in certain venues we can get away with it. I mean, like we shoot in decent venues, we shoot in good venues as well. We do get nice big weddings as well. But compared to what they're doing, it's like it's totally different.
Yeah.
They probably have a pre-shoot in 2 or 3 different locations.
Yeah.
So every wedding is like they'll have a pre-shoot in somewhere really nice, and then on the wedding day, the venues, the decor, everything is all like, that's not half your work done.
Yeah, totally,
You know what I mean?
totally. If you've got nice backgrounds, you don't have to just tidy up as you go.
You can have the best looking bride in the world, the best looking groom in the world, the best looking couple in the world, nice outfits. But then if you put them in like a venue where the deco isn't all that, and most of the these budget venues, we know they don't even change the deco most times.
No.
They put out chair covers and they put like creases, they put like tie backs in the chairs and like
got holes in them.
Got holes in them and everything.
Stains from the last wedding.
Cutlery is all mismatched and everything.
Yeah.
So you can't get anything. Whereas you don't even have to have the best dressed, the best looking bride and groom. You put them in a nice venue, and the background and the deco and the lighting and everything will take all your attention off the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really helps. So that's the key thing, I think.
How many years you got in you left?
Well, every year I say it's going to be my last year. Don't want to be hypocritical. But every year I say it's going to be my last year. But then, to be honest with you, this year, August.
You got to stay in the industry, man, because you're going to teach my kid. When he's old enough, you're going to teach him how to do it, yeah?
This year, August, got booked up last year.
Okay, yeah, completely.
Right, yeah. Somebody asked me for every day in August in 2025 and 2026.
Oh, wow.
There's a certain person that you know and I know, we both work for him.
Yes.
Because when he found out this year's all gone, he goes, well, I'll book you for 25 and 26. So I said to him, well...
You held to that. So, hey, it's
you're
done.
First one.
It's done. You know that money's there.
You're the first one to ask me. So obviously...
There you go. That's the rule.
Due to the time, I'm coming to see you and I'm going to need a 70% deposit. And then we can confirm it.
Yeah. Wow. We'll see how that goes.
So he wasn't too happy when I said to him, all of August is fully booked.
Yeah. It's a busy time, man. Freelancers are a dime a dozen still. Some companies are hiring up all the freelancers and everyone's doing their own thing as well.
But I say to everybody, most of the guys I work with, I say to them, look, like from previous seasons, when your busiest date's going to be. Try and keep it consistent and use the same people that you use on every job. So most of the people, couples I work with, it's always the same faces anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes the odd person is different because they couldn't find somebody who regularly works with them. So they've had to get somebody else. But it's nice to always have the same people because when you work with the same people day in, day out, it makes your life easier. I know if I go to a job and I'm shooting with this person, I know what he's going to get. He knows what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about it. So, 9 out of 10, you don't have to communicate with the person you're working with because automatically where you're going to be. You know where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, you've got that covered.
I still like the look of walkie-talkies, but especially when working with you, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So that's the best thing about working with, the same people over and over again. When you work with somebody new and it's like you're constantly thinking, has he got that? Has he got that? Do I need to go back and get that shot again?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it just makes life a bit more difficult. Especially when you work with some people and they turn up and they've only got one body, one lens, one battery, one memory card, no tripod, no lights.
Yeah. It becomes tough. I'm going to be carrying all of this.
Yeah.
So how's your year looking this year then? Is it looking busy throughout now? We started 2024 now in February. It's already started.
To be honest with you, my August was fully booked from last year.
Yeah.
So August, I'm not taking anything else on. I do get phone calls and things. Maybe I can take some jobs on in August.
Yeah.
Because
double bubble.
Yeah, because I haven't got my itinerary yet, of the dates where they are, everything in August. If I find that annoying sometimes, but sometimes it is what it is. Because the guys who I work with at the moment now, they usually have 2 or 3 jobs on the day. So they've got a group of 10, 15 freelance people who work regularly for them. So what they'll do is they've got a job, say, one here, one here. And they'll probably tell me last minute, okay, I need you here. Because what they try and do is they try and put best people that work together on each job.
Yeah.
In terms of who's a driver, okay, we need somebody creative on that job, we need somebody for coverage, and we need a good photographer. So they'll place them on that job. The same thing with that job, same with that job.
Yeah.
So they might say to me, okay, yeah, you're here, but last minute they might say, no, you're here.
Yeah.
We need you on this one. So that's the difficult part. And sometimes it's, if you get all the details, then you know, okay, I'm free at this time. If a job comes in the evening, I could take a job in the evening. Or my job's in the evening. If something comes in the morning, I could take a job in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's nice, a bit more money, but it is what it is.
Cool.
I've truthfully never been like money driven from this job. I've made losses. I've made enough just to get by. I'm not made like mega money. Some people think I'm probably making lots because they see me on jobs every other day. But truthfully, I get people offering me more money for jobs, and I could take jobs with other companies who are offering more money. But I think loyalty is a big thing. So I try and be loyal to the people who I work regularly with, or somebody who has booked me. I would never ever cancel somebody because somebody else offered me more money.
Definitely.
There are people out there who do it. But once somebody's given me a job, it's in my diary, they've confirmed it, that's it.
Yeah.
I've had, times where they've had to cancel on the day, but I've never charged them a cancellation or something. Because I know throughout the year, they give me so many jobs. So that odd job here and there where you are going to make a little bit more money, maybe he's going to give you 10 jobs in a whole year, 15. From these people, probably like about 40, 50 jobs in a year.
Yeah.
So it's good. I've been fortunate, Ed, to be honest with you. I've always worked with people, good people like people like yourselves and everything. So even though we don't see much out of work, same thing with most of the people who I work with. We've got like a nice bond between us.
Yeah.
So I've got like a group, a WhatsApp group with certain freelancers. We all work together. They have their own company, so when they get jobs, they always put the jobs in the group between us.
Yeah.
If none of us are free, then they'll go
outside.
Else.
Yeah.
I've got another group with the guys who I work with now and all the freelance stuff, and they give me a lot of dates. Then I got the group with yourself and the company we work together for. And it's nice. So, from a freelance point of view as well, it's good to be nice with everybody and friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, one company might be busy today, they might not be busy tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you have to keep options open.
Definitely.
So sometimes even now, like, I'm restricted down to only a few companies who work I'm taking. Most of the companies who are ringing me for work, maybe they might not ring me next year.
Yeah.
I think automatically, he's busy. And the guys I'm working with now might not be busy next year. So it's nice just to have a balance with everybody.
Yeah.
Do
you still love it?
We moan, we complain and everything. But then when it's off season, it's like look, this week, there's no weddings, nothing. We've got off season. I'm home. Sometimes I'm bored.
Yeah.
Now I could go out with friends, I can go out with the family, go out and do things. But that buzz of the wedding, you can't beat it. I think it's just one of those things. It's very difficult. When you've been doing it for this many years, we say, this is going to be my last year, I'm going to do less. You sort of miss it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Definitely.
Sleeping odd hours, sleeping on journeys, driving, the whole thing,
It's tough, but we very rarely snap at each other. We very being that tired, we can all get very cranky with each other, but we don't really, do we?
No.
Let's get on with it.
Even it's like the people who work with, they've all set up for themselves now, the photographer who used to do a lot of work with themselves, he's set up himself now. So this year maybe I'll see him less because he'd probably be doing most of his own stuff. We've got 2 new people who've come in with the company that we work with.
Yeah.
One of the guys I work with through another company anyway. So
chops and changes, and we've got Ryan as well on his second season.
It's always good working with Ryan. Ryan's a good lad, listens and everything.
Good
takes
vibes.
advice, and he's a good person to work with, Ryan.
I do what I'm
Good lad.
I do what I'm told.
No, but I say to him, you should never do what you're told. I say you should always do what you think is right.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, and I think that myself as well. As much as I give you orders to do things, if you think better, then fine. Like I'll shut up, and I'm obviously not in your shoes in that moment. So
you know what is,
You look like you got something to say.
No, it's just like that job we did the other day where you were telling me what lens to use, and I was like, I don't think that's the right lens to use.
Yeah,
but
you can only make suggestions. You're allowed to disagree.
Yeah, the thing is, right, yeah, we all see things differently. And I think that's the difference, and that's the beauty.
Yeah.
We all can shoot, say, for example, your phone there, right, yeah? Someone will shoot from that angle, someone will shoot from that angle, someone from that angle, someone will use light, someone will not light. And we can't say, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're right, you're right. It's like everybody sees things differently. It's a vision, and that's the thing. So once you start losing the love for that, that's when you got to think, okay, it's time to call it a day.
And you still love it.
And I still love it. I don't sometimes, but when I'm there, it's the thing.
Yeah.
The last job I said to you, I'm going to leave them to you. I'm just going to go in there, do entrances, just do the stage and leave them to do the rest. Yeah. But you see me, I was out there on the shoot. And
it happens. It happens. Get involved anyway. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Right. I'm happy to wind this down because my ass has gone to sleep. Like, these stores are not actually that comfy. Do you have any closing points? Anything?
No, not really.
We've talked Rubel out. Rubel's run out of things to say.
I mean, I could go on forever, to be honest with you. Right, yeah. Because it's a passionate subject for me. I've been fortunate to work with some good people, some absolutely shitty people, some good companies, some crappy companies.
Yeah.
We've shot weddings. COVID was a good time.
Yeah, right, still. COVID didn't affect.
Exactly. We shot weddings throughout COVID in people's houses and gardens. We've done some illegal stuff.
The police turning up, all the aunties hopping fences, running away, thinking they're all going to get arrested. Brilliant. But, and we're just like, wait, okay, I guess this is our end time.
I hope you recorded that. I hope you recorded that, the aunties being over the fence.
Yeah, well.
Been very fortunate to meet a lot of good people through this. A lot of people who will be friends for life. High-end weddings, medium weddings, low-end weddings, everybody. I think, it's wrong to really say high-end, low-end, whatever, because at the end of the day, it's
someone's wedding.
It's someone's wedding, exactly.
Yeah.
They can only...
They do what they do.
Do exactly. But knowing that you've gone there, you're giving your best and you're trying to do your best, that's the main thing.
Do you feel accomplished at the end of the day and just be like, you know what, I did good, I've given them something back? And one recently, we've done a few weddings with their family and they're all positive and buzzing. They're like, yay, the work was great. That's a really good feeling to know you've given them back something.
I've done 4 weddings in a family for 3 different companies.
They keep trying to hire someone new. They're trying to get rid of this Rubel guy.
So... every time I've gone in,
coming back.
And they're like, yeah, but we didn't book you. But they don't realize I'm a freelance person, right?
Yeah.
Book that company. I just hope they're happy with the work. That's the main thing. But
there must have been something wrong with the wedding. Like, we really don't like that Rubel guy. Let's go with these people. Oh, it's Rubel.
To be honest with you, Ed, right? Yeah, everybody I've gone to work for, right? Yeah, I've tried to give them my best, give them the best I can. Right? Yeah. I've always been on time. I've never cancelled anybody. Yeah. Only a couple of jobs, but that was like life and death. It's got to be life and death for me to a wedding. And some people pay good, some people pay a bit shit. But if I've taken the job, I've done it. I've not gone and thought, okay, he's paying me peanuts, I'm going to give him shit. I've still gone in with all my...
Yeah, for sure you do.
And I've given 100% to everybody. That's probably why most people who I work for always do call back for jobs.
Yeah.
And... try and get on with everybody and trying to give the best. And that's the main thing. It's like you always got to have that positive mentality. And to be in this game for a long time, you have to give somebody, something decent.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. In the day, it's somebody's wedding. If you don't get on with the people you work with and you've taken the job, it's not part of the bride and groom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go to the bride and groom's house and sometimes you don't even get on with their families, somebody may say something, you might upset you by saying something or what have you, maybe the day's not going to go according to... we've done weddings where we've had fights, we've had police come in.
Seen everything.
Seen everything.
Bomb threats.
Right.
Bomb threats, bomb threats.
Exactly.
People smashing each other with chairs.
I've done weddings before you deliver the films. The bride and groom have divorced, so it's
never had that.
Wow.
A strange one.
Okay.
I've shot a wedding with yourself many years ago up north. Just say up north, yeah. I'm not going to say the place.
Yeah, don't try and make me remember.
Yeah, right,
it's not going to work.
It was a big flash wedding. I remember it was for a company that me and used to work for, and then one of the guys set it up by himself, and he booked us, not knowing the other guys were involved in the company anyway. Right, so we went up north, me and you, shot the wedding, we came back. A few years back, I shot her wedding again for another company. So I don't know whether she recognized me or not, but I've shot the same bride's wedding twice. Right?
You're always there for the good times and the bad.
You know, it's like I went and I'm thinking,
I recognise this bride. She's got married before.
Right.
Are you a sister? No.
And then her voice cut. You know,
just flashback.
Some brides we won't recognise.
Yeah.
You know, once all the makeup's come off, and everything. No disrespect to all your brides and everything, right? But once the makeup's come off, it's very hard to recognise.
You look very different.
Yeah. But even certain grooms, I don't remember. You know, that you go to weddings the other day, we done one, and they're like, "Oh, you shot my wedding," and I was like, I can't remember.
You remember all the time. I was surprised you weren't.
Yeah.
You're usually that time of year at that venue.
I remember usually because like when they tell me the venue or.
And then you bring up a picture on your phone from that wedding.
But certain weddings you remember because like the bride maybe has a unique way of speaking or it's something unique.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Something unique about that wedding, and that one will always stay in your head. But most times it's very difficult. So when they bump into our weddings, I say, "Oh, do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Gosh, yeah. Can you remind me? Where was it? Was that? Oh, yeah. You know, if it comes back to you, and if it doesn't,
man, just show me a picture from your wedding day. I'll remember then.
Yeah,
I don't.
But once you go back to that family and you do weddings again in that family, you know you've done something right.
Yeah,
for them to book you again.
Yeah,
you know, so it's nice. Certain families, you know, for the company we work with now, we've done like a few weddings in some families, and it's always nice. There's a certain family, and I love doing their weddings. I've done, I think, all three brothers. But I've not done the full days. I've done for like one brother, one event. For the other brother, I've done two events. And the other brother, maybe just one event.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nice because some families are really, really nice. They go out their way for you. As soon as you walk into their house, they welcome you. Tea, coffee, snacks, drinks. And they see you more as part of the family. And it's really, really nice.
Yeah. It's nice when they really respect and value you.
Appreciate it.
That's why you go as far as you can anyway. You're going to go the extra mile for people that
exactly
see you as a human being instead of a slave at the door.
And then some people will see you as just like you've just come in and that's it, you know.
Unskilled,
whatever.
Not someone who should be respected.
Exactly. It's like a mentality from like back home where you just like the
working class.
That's it. You know, so it's nice in a way, but then you have your good days, you have your bad days, but you still have to go out there and you still have to put your face on and you still have to just get the job done and come back. You know what I mean?
Let's be hopeful for a lot more nice couples, families, inshallah, for 2024 and beyond.
Exactly.
So there we go. Cool. Let's leave it, call it a day. My bum is dead and we've done like 2 hours. So
2 hours?
Yeah, 1 hour, 49 minutes. Yeah. So if you've got this far, well done. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. We've been with Master Rubel by. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. And we'll get him on again and we'll eventually get some names out of him.
One day.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Right. See you later.
Peace.